Okay. Hopefully I can get this thing squared away here. There's not much room where I am. And this is a bit problematic here. How am I going to do this? I guess I could just do it this way. All right, that's okay. Let's see here. Good morning, Mr. Bruce. All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. I'm on the gimbal right now, and I'm on a little table. I don't have much room. So I gotta push it out, I guess. Let's see here. Yeah, that's better. The challenges of a new cafe. Today, well, let's just wait a minute before I get into it. Let me put my glasses on so I can see a little bit. Since I'm blind as a bat now. Today it is, of course it's hot. We already know that. I don't even have to say anything. If you know about Thailand, you know, it's hot. Now sometimes it's bearable, sometimes it's actually nice. Today it's not very nice, it's very hot. The temperature right now, or rather at 8:43 a.m., 88 degrees. The high today is, this is not a Middle East decor. I'll show you around, Bruce. It may look like it in some ways, but man, it's a bit wild. It's a little strange. They got, you know, little pink flamingos and deer, and yeah, it's different. The decor is definitely different. Maybe it's a little Middle East mixed with Bambi. I don't know. Anyway, the low today is 83. Currently, the feel-like temperature is 94 degrees, 62% humidity now. It is very sunny out. It was supposed to be rainy starting Sunday, but now it says it's going to be sunny through Tuesday of this week, and then the rains will begin. Like a 40 to 70% chance depending on the day next week. And the air quality is a normal, unhealthy 153, which is, it's inexcusable. I understand, you know, businesses, big business, cars, but you know, a lot of the taxis here, well, I think all of the taxis, they use natural gas. And now there's more and more electric things. So I don't know what the deal is going on here in Thailand, because the pollution and you're not going to hear anything until after the elections, as I said before, because they're not going to pass any laws. They're not going to change anything because they're too scared to do that right now. The government, and it's impossible now that the parliament is out. It's been dismissed. So you got to wait until like end of May, end of June, end of July to see any changes being made. Whatever. Today we are going to talk about whether or not Thailand is more dangerous than it was in the past, more dangerous than it used to be. And there are some statistics and findings that you might actually find a little surprising. I did. And the reason for this stream, I always have to give the reason for some reason. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sawati Ton Chow to everybody. The reason is because, first of all, there's been a lot of mass shootings lately here in Thailand, which to me seems a bit abnormal. There's also been a lot of attacks on tourists lately, or at least it seems like a lot of attacks. And then there's been a lot going on in Pattaya, but in Chayapum yesterday, or a couple of days ago, but it was reported yesterday in the news. Apparently there's some guy that is originally from Finland living there with his girlfriend, wife, whatever, I don't know. I should look because I don't remember, but whatever, his partner. Yeah, it's during Songkran, he gets a little tipsy. I guess he gets obnoxious, which apparently has been a pattern with this guy. I say apparently because that's what I've read, what I've heard, what I've seen in the news. And so he went into a place, and I think he wanted to buy some booze, and it was 80 baht. And he was like, no, you have to give it to me for 70 baht. He got obnoxious about it. And then the lady was like, the shop owner, I guess she hit him with a stick. She was pissed off. Like, get out of here, get out of here. So he starts yelling things, F Thailand, F Thai people. Anytime you use the F word, you drop the F bomb in Thailand, you run the risk of irritating people. And I've said it many times. I've been in a taxi, this has happened a couple of times. I'm talking to somebody on the phone, and I use the F word, and for whatever reason the driver hears, and he gets pissed. He's not pissed off because I use the F word, he gets pissed off because he thinks I'm being derogatory to him. And I had to basically tell, and it kind of irritated me because first of all, why are you listening to my conversation? Second of all, okay, I understand you don't really have a choice, so, but don't get angry, the thing is that it's very difficult for people to control their emotions. So this lady got pissed. She calls, supposedly she didn't do it. One side of the story is, good morning, Michael. One side of the story is that she called over some people, or she called over one or two people and told them what he said. Apparently, approximately 7 people jumped in and just basically beat the hell out of the guy. Put him in the hospital, or sent him to the hospital. One of the attackers had a knife. Now, I've spoken with a lot of people already about this, at least a dozen. And a large number of people are like, typical, that's just the way it goes. And then it's, oh, he's a dummy. Yeah, okay, maybe he's a knucklehead. He's a drunk. He can't control himself. And if you got a drinking problem and you're going to come to Thailand, it's going to exasperate it. It's going to be exasperated. It's going to be compounded because there's an element of frustration in living here that some people will never get past, which is why they have the mipe and right mentality here. Because they know if they were, I have things here that I absolutely love. Today I'm coming over here on the motorbike, smooth sailing, the sky is clear, at least it seemed like there wasn't a lot of pollution. And the air was cool enough to where I wasn't sweating on the back of the motorcycle. And I'm thinking, part of me loves this place. And then there's part of me that's like, okay, I go down by the beach, I move to some place on the beach, but there's always going to be problems wherever you are. And my thinking is, just because a guy insults you, if somebody insults me, I think the best, or anybody, I think the best thing to do is try to get out of the situation, just walk away. Now, it's another thing if the guy tried to attack the woman or he got physical. Then you truly are asking for it. Because if you get physical because you can't get your way over 10 baht, then you really, you're asking for trouble. Now, if you're just being a knucklehead, you're drunk, and you get obnoxious, I think the best thing to do is call the police. And in this situation, I think that would have been better. The woman calls the police come, and who knows what they do. They throw him in jail for a night. They fine him for being drunk in public, whatever it is. So this guy ended up beat up. Now, there are most of the foreigners that I've seen commenting on this are like, they shouldn't have done that. First of all, they shouldn't have ganged up on them, which that has never happened to me where I've had a group of Thais gang up on me, because anytime I've ever had a problem with a Thai, it was generally because the Thai was being extremely difficult. I've talked about the time where the guy was on the motorcycle and he was drunk. He was very clearly drunk, and he was driving, and as soon as I got on, I go, this guy's been drinking, man. And I thought, I'm right around the corner, I'll be all right. And about halfway through, I was just going, dude, you have to slow down. You have to be. And he basically told me, don't talk to me. And I told him to let me off. And then he got aggressive. And so once I got aggressive and stood up for myself, then he backed down. And a couple of Thais came over and said, what's the deal? I said, well, he was really drunk. And they're like shaking their head. Now, if I had said, oh, he won too much money or something like that, then they might have started something. And as some people have seen on one of my streams a while back, this is before the new law went into effect. I was on the Songtao, and I was not bothering anybody. I was shooting outside of the Songtao. I was not shooting anybody, but then a woman came on, and I had to turn my body, and so for like a split second, I shot inside of the Songtao, and this guy said something to me. I didn't, he kind of looked over and he said something, and I didn't know what the hell he was saying because I couldn't really hear him. And then he came over and he actually got in my face and grabbed the gimbal, and that was the last straw. And I said something, I didn't want to hit the guy. I mean, I was thinking I want to hit this guy for touching my stuff and for being aggressive, but that's your initial inner reaction. But I know that that's not a good idea. I was smart enough to know that's not a good idea. So I told him to get out of my face. And, fortunately it didn't end up getting physical. And I was ready to hit him. But I didn't. Now that's one-on-one. This is not a 7-on-1 situation. Would the other Thai old ladies and maybe the one old man on the Songtao have jumped in? No, they wouldn't have. And in 30 years, in the beginning, I had a couple scraps, and nobody ever stepped in. Now, I'm not saying that's because of me. I think it's because of luck. And because what I was doing was I wasn't being disrespectful. I was basically standing up for myself against somebody who was ripping me off, against somebody. I also told the story of the taxi driver who smacked me because I said, you passed the left turn. Okay, go up ahead and take a left, and then take another left and come back. He passed that up, and I was like, what are you doing? Listen to me, I know what I'm talking about. I don't care where you want to drive me. Your job is to take me to where I want to go, and I knew the route. And this is the thing, especially if you've lived here a long time, you know the whole scene, you know where you're going and how to get there. Sometimes they view it as disrespectful because some foreigner is telling them how they need to go, how they should get there. Now, usually once I start speaking in Thai, they realize, oh, this guy's been here a while, and I don't have any problems. Maybe they just do it. They may not say anything, and that's fine. But the one guy smacked me, and I knocked him out. This is, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And I didn't want to do it, but, I thought, I'm not going to let some guy hit me. I got to fight back. And okay, this has been going on since I've been here, not just against me, but against many other people. And it doesn't really happen with me very often. Usually the way it works is most Thais are in the situations that you're dealing with them, when you interact with them, they are good people and they won't get violent with you. I'm saying most of the time. Now, obviously, there are some places like Koh Tao where already this video is limited. They limited it already. That is so irritating. What did I say so far that could be construed as something that doesn't need to be, where they can demonetize the video? What have I said? I think I used the H word, H-E-double-L. I didn't use anything, I didn't say the F word, and this is YouTube. Now I have something that's related to this, actually, not really with YouTube, but that has to do with what you can and cannot say nowadays. I knocked him out. Oh, maybe that could have been it. Oh well, what do you want me to say? I'm not allowed to talk about it? Come on. I don't think that that's for, honestly, I don't think that YouTube needs to worry about that kind of thing. They need to worry about more extreme measures that people take. I did not get drenched. In fact, I only got wet one time. And that was, well, you know, the violence occurs. I'm not propagating the fact that you should use it. I'm not saying, oh, everybody's got to go out and do that. I'm just saying this is what happened. And this is what I mean. You're not even allowed to talk about something that happens. It's ridiculous. Anyway, the only time that I got wet, I was coming from the gym, and I was on the song towel. Now, lately, I have not been taking the song towel simply because there are 3 people now. There's only 3 people. There used to be like 5 song towels, 5 different people who had their own trucks, and they all alternated. Now there's only 3, and out of them, 2 of them, it's like every time you go sit down, they're supposed to go about every 10 minutes. But for whatever reason, and I think it has to do with the fact that less people were going out, they didn't need the song towels as much. And you know, they want to make money. But you sit there, and you sit there, and you sit there, you're there 20 minutes. And there's one guy in particular, and my wife doesn't like him, my kids don't like him, because the guy goes in, and it's not like they're driving back to back, going back and forth, back and forth. What they do is they go and they drive and they park for a while, and then the other guy goes, and then when they come back, then the other guy takes his turn and goes back, and maybe now there's 3 of them, at least 3 of them, maybe 4, but I think 3. There's 2 guys and a woman, and once that 3rd person is back, then they start their turn. He always goes, I know what he does because I see him going into the bathroom. He goes in there to take a dump. He buys food. He's yakking to people inside. And then everybody, the song towel is full and you're sitting there sweating. And it's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes for the song towel. Now, that's a minor thing. So the reason that I no longer really take the song towels unless they are just about ready to leave. And usually I will ask, how much longer till you leave? Oh, 3 minutes. Okay, I'll wait. I just take the motorcycle. There's a bunch of motorcycles right there. Anyway, I don't know what I was getting into that about, but I was on the song towel coming back, and I didn't even think about people throwing water. In my neighborhood, I think I saw a small group of kids, maybe like 4 kids, and 2 older people, separate. And that was all I saw. Shooting water, throwing water, or whatever. Nobody else was in my neighborhood. It was very, very quiet. But I got splashed once, and it was really nothing. It was not that much. And you know, if you go out in Songkran, you know you're going to get wet. My wife and kids went down to Central World, and they were playing, and actually it was very tame. Nowhere near as bad as in some places like Sukhumvit, Pattaya, down in Pattaya, and some of the villages. Anyway, so let me go on here. Anyway, good morning to everybody. What do I want to talk about? Well, first of all, we're going to talk about, has Thailand become more dangerous than in the past? We're also going to talk about, we're going to have a question of the day, and it is a very good question. It's a question that most people don't think of it in this context. And when you do, it kind of shows you how ludicrous things are right now. And I'm of the opinion that even, well, let's say, the internet shows you things more quickly and shows you get a broader view of the world. I think the world is in decline, at least human beings, the way they live. I don't mean the quality of their life, I mean the way they think. I think maybe there's too many people and people are starting to go nuts. And that's what I've been thinking in Thailand. I think that the stress on Thai people, they're not used to it. The stress that has grown over the years, the pressure to perform at work has grown, it's just increased over the years. That's my thinking. And I thought it would be a good idea to look in this. But this Finnish guy, you know, he got the holy hell beat out of him. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes people don't deserve a good smacking around. I'm not saying that. Sometimes, you know, what are you going to do? Sometimes it's warranted that you fight back. But I think those instances are few and far between, and there certainly are no instances when 7 people, 10 people, 5 people, whatever it is, join in and jump on one person, whether it is on a Thai, whether it is on a foreigner, whatever it may be. And I know in quite a few cases that it has happened against foreigners, especially tourists, people who don't know, they don't know the rules of the game. I've talked about when I first came here, there was a girl that I saw around down at Nana area. And apparently she got pissed at a guy, and her girlfriends were behind her, but she had a beer bottle in her hand. She cracked the guy over the head with the beer bottle. Turned out that the guy didn't want to pay her what they had agreed upon, and so she cracked him over the head with the beer bottle, and he wasn't going to do nothing because, first of all, his head was split open, and second of all, she had all her girlfriends around, and her girlfriends were ready to jump in and to crack the guy. And some of the girls, they actually do know how to fight, probably a lot more than some of the foreigners who come here and live here. Some of these girls, you know, their brothers were Muay Thai fighters, so they took Muay Thai for 2 or 3 years, or whatever it may be. Now, before I go any further, let me get the exact the specifics of this place, just so you know. And I'll show you a little bit around here. The name of this place is Belo de Cafe. I guess it used to be known as Cafe Story. It opens at 8 a.m. in the morning, which is great with me, and it closes at 8 o'clock at night. It is a huge building. It's the Marie building. And the Marie building, this place is right down the street from the place where I streamed. Where was it? Was it yesterday that I streamed? I think so. Yesterday or the day before, can't remember. I think it was yesterday. What was the name of that place? Culture Bangkok. So this place is just a little bit farther down, but I don't have to make a U-turn to come back when I'm coming from my house. It's basically just on the left side instead of the right, so it's a little more convenient, at least at first. It's not all that far. It's about 15 minutes away from my house. It is on Ram Khamhaeng road. And let me see here. I can't seem to get they don't have a lot of information on this place, but it is at the Mairie building, MEREE. So it's another place that, you know, if you're on Ronkonkoma, it's 1 Ronkonkoma 107 Alley, Huamak, Bangkabi District, open from 8 to 8. I believe that is daily. No, they're closed on Monday. Now, it is a huge place. Let me show you a little bit. It is huge. The building is huge. This place is not huge. So here is the little coffee shop. Hey there, Mr. Sammy. Here's the coffee shop. I got another list coming up for you this weekend, Sammy. All right. Sammy, I lost about 18 kilos. Oh, shit. And I've been working hard. Hard work and dedication is what it takes. And discipline. Eating, I've been on the keto and carnivore. I've been watching what I eat. You know, I've done this before when I was younger, but it gets harder when you are older. And like I tell my wife, it's all about the discipline. And I just haven't cared all that much, you know. I mean, once in a while I'd be like, oh, okay, but this has been sustained for really, I think it's been since Carnival Chronicles came out, and I did a video in Pattaya. And so, you know, they got all these fake flowers, fake lemons. They got fake lemons, but you know, this is the building. You see what I mean about, oh, these are reindeer. This is a Santa thing. Well, I'm glad you're proud of me, Sammy. Yeah, it's a strange place to me. I mean, it's April, and they got Christmas stuff still up. I don't know what this is saying. But they got little rabbits, and outside they got... We should go outside for a minute. I don't think they'll mind. And then look at this here. But I saw the building and I thought, oh, it's such a big building. It looks so nice. Must be a kickin' place. And instead, it's really dead. And the lady said, on Tuesdays and Saturdays, this place is busy. Other days, it's not very busy. Well, they're into the love thing. That's obviously... They're very loving, whoever they are. I mean, they got chandeliers, they got snowflakes. Well, not the usual snowflakes. These are like faux snowflakes. Hang on a second here. We got this little thing here. Automatic. You can see they got all this here. I mean, it's different. Now, again, is this the kind of place where I would come have a coffee? Or like, hey, I gotta go to this place for lunch? No, I wouldn't. This is a local place. This is a place where if you're passing by, you want to come here. Now, as you can see, the good thing is if you do want to come here, the MRT is here, which is fabulous. Makes it easy to get here. Now, look at this building. Let me show you. I'm going to show you very slowly here. Yeah, especially if there's not a lot of people. So here's the place, and look at this. So there are offices in this place. And, you know, if you really want, there's a 7-Eleven over there. I gotta say that the coffee that I had, the espresso that I had, you know, it was your average espresso, everyday kind of cafe Amazon thing. Nothing special. MRT. And this is coming from like Ramkhameng University and Bangkapi. And if you keep going this way, you will run into the Talat Nam Quan Riem. The other place that I went, what was it called? Culture Bangkok. If you look down there, you can see the MG building. It was just a little bit past that. So, you know, take your pick on the coffee shop. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's get another coffee, eh? Let's sit here and have a nice coffee. I think I'll get a cappuccino. Cappuccino. Cappuccino lon, capulon. Where's Gennaro? I'm surprised he hasn't showed up yet. So they do have some croissants, croffles, strawberry with whipping cream croissant. And of course they have the, there you are, QR code. This is the little room. Although I gotta say that place, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, Italian restaurant I used to go to when I was involved in boxing. That was the ideal mafioso type place because there was a room and it was just like, it was just ideal. Anyway, here you go. Lots of stuff here, and I can't have any of this. Well, I could, but I don't want any of it. These are for special occasions only. I like that Black Forest. Which was the one that I was looking at that I thought looked really good? Oh, the mocha mousse cake. That looked pretty good. But, you know, working out or not, I want to retain my discipline and not have any of this stuff. I did have an ice cream the other day. And one thing that, you know, you don't think about is that when I first got on the, let's see here, when I first got on the kind of the keto carnivore thing, I was eating a certain amount of food. And then once I started exercising, and Carnivore Chronicles told me about this, my diet changed, and I started feeling like I want more food, more. So I have to be careful what I eat because, you know, if you're eating more, you're gonna gain weight. If you're eating too much. Anyway, I forgot to say already, but today's shout-outs go to Mr. David Alexander, Mr. Charles Akana, and also Fire Dude. So there you go. And it was brought to my attention that, well, this video is titled, "Is Thailand More Dangerous? Has it become more dangerous than in the past?" I could also do it and compare to other countries, which I do have some comparisons. Thank you, Mr. Sammy. How you doing, man? How you doing? I gotta go to Japan. I've been wanting to go there for a long time. Really. And my kid wants to go there. He's had a few little Japanese girlfriends. Although he tells me, oh, they're just friends. I'm like, uh-huh. Okay. Thank you. Ooh, look at this. This looks quite good. Now, I do have the milk on there, but that's nice. Oh, man. Let me see this, what's going on here. It's really weird, but on my... Yeah, well, he's doing all kinds of things, you know, and that's the thing. Besides that, he sleeps a lot, which is, you know, something that I don't ever remember sleeping like anybody in my family or like Thai people in general. I never have slept. I used to wake up at 6 when I used to go to school, when I was going to school, like high school. I'd wake up at 6:30, and you know, maybe my mother'd have to yell at me to get out of bed or whatever. But once I was out on my own, man, I started waking up at 5, 6 o'clock. Now I wake up today I woke up at like 3 o'clock. I don't know why I'm getting all these message held for review, and I don't see anything in my chat. So it's a bit strange, but I see it on my phone, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's somebody that, you know, you can, on YouTube, you can hit somebody with a, you can click and hide them from the channel so that they see themselves, but nobody else can see them. So maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. And I really don't care. Are we close to your home, Scott? Yeah, we're about 15 minutes away. Which, you know, today I was really going to go to. He's taller than me. My kid is taller than both of them are taller than me, although I'm not very tall. And Nicholas, if you see him, he's not like the little twerp that he was when he was growing up, although you know, usually people grow up and they're not so twerpy. They're not like little kids, but he's a bar back. So he tells me he's always throwing ice and lifting ice and kegs and all kinds of stuff. So he's pretty yoked, you know, for not really training much because he doesn't have time. Neither of them have that much time. But where was I going to go? Oh, I was just going to go to Starbucks on the corner of Nana and Sukhumvit. And the reason I was going to go there was because I thought, oh, well, it's easy to get there. I'll go by the boat, and then I can go home on the boat. And, you know, easy place to get to. It might take me an hour to get there, hour to get back. And I thought we can sit there outside of Starbucks and watch. We can people watch. Now, they'd be a little bit far away, you know. The 304s walking around. But I thought, oh, we'll go down there. And I just started thinking about it. I thought, oh, I'm gonna take a taxi. I save about 75 baht to take the boat because I still have to get to the boat pier. I have to get from the boat pier to down to Starbucks, which I can walk, but you know, in this heat, I'd be drenched by the time I got to Starbucks. So I was thinking about it, and I thought, maybe I'll go to Sarni's. But you know, 2Q Asia is not here, and neither is Gennaro. So, you know, he would have missed out on the Sarni's. I was going to go there just for 2Q Asia. So I just went, how about I go to another, and then I thought, I forgot about this place. I forgot about Bello de Cafe, what is it? Bello de Cafe? That's the name of this place, Belo de Cafe. Now, I have to say, the food looks pretty good. Now, whether it is or not, I don't know, and I'm not going to have any. But that's the name of the place. And when the stream is done, I'll make sure I put all the information down in the description, so that if you want to get there, you can. And I am going to do a video about the cafes that I've been visiting recently. I think it's better I just do one video combining some of them, because they're not all video worthy, we'll say. No sugar in that cappuccino. All right, so we're talking about the danger of Thailand. Now, initially, I thought, yeah, it's more dangerous. It's more dangerous than it used to be. But I looked at some statistics from various websites. And where's the one that showed from, like, was it the 70s? Where is it? Oh, these are the country rankings. This is not it. It's over here. We're talking about the Finnish guy earlier, and that's in Jim's neck of the woods. Jim, who comes into the stream fairly often. And he's like, oh, well, that doesn't usually happen. No, it doesn't usually happen. In a lot of places, people are not going to get that aggressive with you here unless, one, they're a criminal trying to steal from you, whatever it may be, or two, you get too excited and too mouthy, and then they might actually do something, which really they shouldn't, but they do. All right, from 2017 to 2021, offense against property has dropped from 91.8 cases per 100,000 people to 52.27. So it's now these statistics are submitted by the Thai police. So I don't know I cannot verify the accuracy, but this is on Statista.com. And then the offenses related to life, body, and sex. 2017, 30.82 cases per 100,000. And in 2021, 17.23. So that's about 58% or something like that of what it was. So it dropped significantly. I did not expect to see that. Now, in 2020, there was a poll on BangkokPost.com, and it says people are now facing higher risks to security and personal well-being than a year ago, according to a survey by Suandusit Ratchapat University, or Suandusit poll. Now, there was only 1,365 people taking part in this poll, and the reason they did the poll was following a spate of serious crime news, including rapes, robberies, and drug dealing, culminating in the gold shop heist in Lopburi province. Asked about risk to their personal security, a majority of respondents, 67.69, said they have become more serious over the past year as a result of the economic slump. On the Bangkok Post, they spelled economic incorrectly. There's no O after, no O after the C in economic. Unbelievable. Spell check. Deteriorated social conditions and low moral standards. Now that's the big thing around the world, low moral standards. 27.47% said security in life and property remains the same as before, and 4.84% said risks to life and security have decreased as the government has taken more stringent measures against crime. Now what gets me is that I see these incidents, see these incidents taking place, and many times they're against foreigners. However, I'll give you an example. There was a young girl many years ago who was simply walking down, well, this is not really related, but let me just get into it anyway. We're talking about danger. I'm really talking about crime. But in this case, the girl was, we could also talk about traffic, because it is dangerous, but it has supposedly gotten less dangerous than in the past on the road here. Thailand used to be #1 for the most accidents and the worst place to drive. It's not anymore. Anyway, this girl was walking down Ram Khameng Road. I've talked about this several times. And, they have the walkways, the overpasses where you can just walk, the walkovers. And a piece of concrete fell from the walkover, big piece of concrete, smacked her in the head, and now she is no longer able to walk and function as a normal human being. She's bedridden for the rest of her life. She needs a lot of care. Now, if she was in the United States, somebody would have got sued so that the girl would be properly taken care of. In this instance, the family got 300,000 baht. That's not even 10,000 US dollars. Now, even on the low end of 10,000 baht a month, that's only 30 months. That's nothing. So why she got that little, I don't know. I cannot remember the amount that the family of the woman who was, I don't remember if she had become a physician. She was studying to be a physician. I think she was studying to be a physician. Maybe she was in her 3rd year, and she got hit by the motorcycle cop. This is, I don't know how long ago, I can't remember, a year or 2 ago. And, the guy didn't have a license. He took off. And she got a pittance. Her family, not her, because she was killed. Her family got a pittance. I mean, a pittance. This woman was going to be a doctor. And what did she get? Next to nothing. What did the family get? I don't mean to say she. All right, so I'm just looking. Now, where do you think that the most dangerous place in Thailand would be? Where's Pattaya Bob? Because for the most part, Pattaya is the most dangerous place. And I will get into that in just a second here. Let me look at the statistics. Okay. The level of crime on the index out of 100, 100 being the most crime, Bangkok has moderate crime at 40.65, and that is increasing in the past 3 years. In Pattaya, 49.45 on a scale of 100. Let's see here. That is the level of crime. Crime's increasing in the past 5 years. In Bangkok, 58.28, and in Pattaya, 60.20. Worries being mugged or robbed, 37.64 in Bangkok, which is relatively low. 41.93 in Pattaya, which is moderate. Now, you don't really have to be, let's see here. You don't really have to worry too much about being mugged or robbed or having your car stolen or something stolen from your car, or about being insulted. Because it's just not in the Thai nature for the most part, unless you insult them. Worries about being attacked are fairly low. They have not been increasing. Where is it here? 33.04 in Bangkok on a level of 100, and in Pattaya 38.53. Now, I personally think that the more you go to tourist areas, the more jaded the locals become, and then that's when things start spiraling out of control, if they are going to spiral. Worries being subject to physical attack because of your skin color, ethnic origin, gender, or religion. In Bangkok, 20.40. In Pattaya, 25.39. Now, here's the big one. Problems with corruption and bribery. This is surprising to me. In Bangkok, 80.45, considered very high. In Pattaya, 75.6, considered high. This is this month, 2023. Safety, walking alone during daylight in Bangkok. It is quite safe, 78.58. In Pattaya, 77.41. Safety, walking alone during night, moderate, 55.86 in Bangkok and 53.69 in Pattaya, which means it's safer in Bangkok, which that's not really surprising. Anytime you got a tourist area, you know that the tourists are going to bring people in, bring Thai people in, bring whoever in, from whatever nationality in, who are trying to run a scam. They're trying to get some money by illicit methods. Anyway, listen, I haven't said this, but today, do me a favor, leave me a thumbs up if you like the streams, if you like the daily Mallon. I think that's what I've decided on. The daily Mallon. I couldn't think of anything better. Seems appropriate since my last name is Mallon. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, join the YouTube membership program for as little as $1.99. Follow me on Rumble. Visit my website and purchase some merch or one of my books or both of my books. Buy me a coffee. Use the Cash App. Become a sponsor on YouTube. Use Patreon. All the links are down below. And now, just in case you don't know, YouTube has this thing where this live stream, I have this in a podcast playlist where I guess audio only is available. So you can, now you know you can always download YouTube videos, or whether they're audio, video, whatever. But this is specifically set up so that if you just want to listen, you don't want to watch, I don't know why they did that. Works for me. But anyway, if you want to just listen to me, you don't want to look at me, which I understand. You don't have to look at me. It's unnecessary. Is there anybody here, or am I not getting my messages? Because the last message I see is, your son tall? Sleeping helps them physically grow, you know? Well, my kids are now in their 20s, so I don't know if they're still growing, but I guess maybe a little bit. They love to sleep. If somebody, tell me what please tell me the last comment that you see in the chat, if you would. If nobody's commenting, okay, that's fine. But if sometimes what happens, oh, thanks, Michael. Well, I guess the comments are working. Have a coffee. Thank you very much, I will. I'll be heading to Italy tomorrow. Oh, man, you dog. Italy is somewhere that my wife and I both want to go to, but we can only go to so many places so often. And this is the thing. I mean, you know, you want to take off time and traveled around the world, well, then you can hit, a lot of countries quickly. I've been to, I don't know, something like 50, maybe 60 countries now, something like that. I can't remember. I should write them all down, look at it. There's a way you can do it online where, you have a map of all the places you went. I haven't been to Ireland, be going to Ireland. Haven't been to Ecuador, be going to Ecuador. I have been to the Netherlands many times, and I like the Netherlands. I haven't been to Portugal. I'll be going to Portugal, so I will be adding 3 new countries to the list. Michael, choke D to you. Have a good trip. Be safe. Have an espresso for me there in Italy. Anyway, let me go on here because I had a lot of information. Okay, I don't need that. The United States is per capita. I'm sure I will. I don't know if the kids will, but I know that my wife and I will end up there eventually because I know she wants to go there, and we know, we have a few ideas of things to do and where to see. And anyway, United States is number 1 in crime. Number 2 is United Kingdom. Number 3 is Germany. 4 France, 5 Russia, 6 Japan. That's a bit surprising. Let's see where Thailand is. Thailand, number 20. Let's see where the Philippines is, because I always compare that. Number 47. Now this is quite some time ago that they did this. This is 20 years ago, so I don't know how accurate this is anymore. But let me move on here. The question is whether or not Thailand has gotten more dangerous. And statistically speaking, it is much safer than it used to be, believe it or not. Let me find that one that I was looking for earlier. Here's another little thing that just happened. And this is not meant to scare anybody. It's just the instances where things are happening. Jealous Thai man who stabbed wife in the neck said it was just a threat and I slipped. They never want to take responsibility. They never want to go, yes, I did it because I thought she deserved it and I just wanted to get rid of her. They will never say that. Let's see. She ran out to seek the assistance of neighbors. She had been stabbed in the neck behind the right ear by scissors. How do you slip with the scissors? Her 14-year-old son was right by her side. That's just not good. A cruel, jealous man, according to the media. Thai man, only known as Mr. B, was from Chayapum. Another one from Chayapum. Jim, where are you today? It emerged that person A, the woman, had been chatting to a man, and after an argument, her husband stabbed her. That's a little unclear. The son said he had rushed out of the home to seek help and returned and found his mother seriously injured. The man was arrested, and he said he only meant to threaten his wife, claiming that he slipped. You don't threaten people. Period. You either do it or you don't open your mouth. And you don't even think about it, or you just do it. You don't want to talk about it. Just saying. Probably not the brightest move, but there are a few people that people get threatened sometimes. Anyway, and also something to consider, and I've talked about this lately, in the last 3 years, there have been 12 shootings, mass shootings in Thailand. Now, in the past, like I'm looking at 2010 to 2019, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shootings in 10 years. From 2000 to 2009, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 1 a year. And then before 2000, from 1940 to 2000, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And some of these were politically motivated. You know, activists, and down in Patani City Hall, Panna City Hall, there were bombings. Ooh, bombing at the protest against the U.S. military base, 1976, March 21, 1976, political protest against the U.S. military base near Siam Theater, near Ratchaprasong intersection, Patumwan district. I never knew about that. I have to take a look at that. I think this is it right here. Yeah. We already talked about that. Thailand has become more dangerous. Maybe in people's minds it has become more dangerous. But statistically speaking, from what statistics were gathered, and there's always the accuracy always has to be questioned. But assuming that everything is accurate, the statistics show that Thailand has actually got more safe in the last 10 years. There was just the other day, beauty contestant allegedly linked to Chinese man's kidnapping and ransom. Another thing that made me think about doing this stream and talking about this subject is Patia Bob, where he said when he saw this about the kidnapping, and this has happened a couple times where Chinese citizens were kidnapped for ransoms, and then the thing that happened with the Finnish guy in Chayapum, Patia Bob was like, oh, maybe South America and some other places, Europe, are looking like better destinations than Thailand. Maybe it's time to get out of here. And that, coupled with the horrible pollution. Patia motorcycle taxi rider who allegedly threatened passenger with a knife over 40 baht, arrested. Now, I think this is the guy. He got a fine of 500 baht. He was recorded by pedestrians as he outrageously tried to assault 2 unidentified foreign men with a knife. Many people, both Thai and foreign alike, tried to stop him, according to a recording. It's a big knife. I mean, big enough to where he could easily kill somebody with it. After receiving a report, Pattaya police conducted an intense investigation and quickly arrested the suspect, Mr. Wurapon Marot. The suspect is a motorbike taxi rider operating near Pattaya Night Bazaar. He claimed to the police that the passengers tried to have his fare to 40 baht a person when they initially agreed to 80 baht a person. To me that sounds a little bit strange, because usually you just say how much for the ride, whether it's 1 or 2 people. Now they always want to charge you more if there's more people, so whatever. Regardless, he shouldn't have tried to stab them. But these things happen, and remember there was the guy with the machete or samurai sword who, I can't remember exactly how much it was, but maybe it was 40 baht. And over 40 baht, he killed a guy. The guy didn't want to pay him. I don't know what the deal was. I don't remember. It's been many years now, but so, I mean, it's still happening. So how safe, the thing is just how safe is Thailand. It's in the top 20 of unsafe places, or in the top 20 when it comes to crime statistics, negative crime statistics. Let's see here. The police interviewed an eyewitness, Mr. Alessandro Somsan. He said a fight between the suspect and foreigners broke out while he was enjoying Songkran near the road. The suspect chased the foreigners around and tried to stab them. Luckily, many people came to the foreigners' aid and helped them stop the fight. The suspect then ran away and later got arrested. Okay, this is what I have an issue with. The officers are proceeding with legal action against the suspect. Okay, great. And state this will also affect his license and ability to operate as a motorbike taxi driver. Now, I think that would be considered attempted murder. I don't know how it would work out here, but attempted murder in most countries is going to carry a stiff sentence. Maybe you'll get out with good time or whatever it is, but I mean, I would think that that's a hefty, hefty sentence for attempted murder. Anyway, so there's one case. That's another one. And a lot of these are in Pattaya, but they're not all related to Pattaya. Pattaya loan shark allegedly stabbed by debtor. 10 p.m. Pattaya. Ooh, big knife. Big knife. Looks like the knife broke. Okay. Let me see what else I got here. All right, this is something. Now, I believe this was against a Thai person, not a foreigner, which still doesn't make it any better. Beach vendor murdered on Pattaya Beach in front of dozens of tourists, suspect arrested. How many people watch one man murder another right on a beach where there's really, the majority of people are tourists? And it gets worse. They watch a guy get murdered right in front of them. And they go, oh, I want to go back to that place. Oh, yeah, I got to go back to Pattaya. Now, you know there's guys there that are like, oh, it's no big deal, whatever, man, I don't care. It wasn't me. I got to go see my girl. A 39-year-old disabled beach vendor was murdered this evening, April 16th, on Pattaya Beach in what was believed to be a debt-related incident, according to Pattaya police. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, near Soi 13/4, not far from Walking Street, on the sand near the pathway of Pattaya Beach. Dozens of tourists and locals were in the area exercising or participating in Songkran and witnessed the shocking incidents. He had a physical disability on his left side, preventing him from walking properly. He had suffered a stab wound on the left side of his chest, and the suspected murder weapon, a kitchen-style knife, was found on the sand nearby. There was an argument over money owed to the suspect, who had been providing him drugs to sell to tourists in a business partnership. The ongoing dispute had been taking place over the debt for his unpaid goods. The suspect punched the victim in the face and pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the chest. They tracked the suspect down. He's been arrested, and he admitted to murdering. Okay, well, so he took responsibility. He admitted to committing the murder and stating that the vendor owed him money, but not discussing what the debt was for. He had an extensive criminal record and had been in prison 6 times previously, most recently just released in January of this year. Imagine if he wasn't released. One of the things that I said about the incident with the Finnish man in Chayapum, wherever it was, I didn't see where the village was. And And where it is really is not so important. It is in Thailand, so that's enough. You know, the guy had a knife who attacked this Finnish guy. The guy's wife filed a complaint against the entire group of people for attempted murder. But what happens if this guy died? That's the thing. If he died, then what? Are they going to charge him with murder? Or are they just going to go, oh, he insulted us? You know how many times I've been insulted? This is the way of the world now. Oh, you can't say this. It's insulting. Which is going to lead into another subject that you guys might find interesting. And that has to do with gender identity. Yes, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Let's see here. Pattaya police warn tourists about pickpockets active during Songkran in crowded water fights. Well, you always got to be careful. That's the thing. What I used to say, and I don't believe it to be true anymore, but what I used to say when I came here was, in the States, you got beef with somebody, a lot of times they come right up to you. They either fight you, stab you, shoot you, whatever it is. They don't have a problem doing that. In Thailand, the way that it used to be, or Southeast Asia, you could say, not to single out Thailand, because we all know it's a paradise here. What I used to say was, crimes were committed sneakily, as in, you're in Chatuchak, you're standing there, you got a bag, they slice the bottom of your bag, they reach their hand through, they grab something and they bail. They hide behind a pole, and then I remember a story where a guy actually, he had a gun, and he said to a foreigner, I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna rob you. You need to give me all your money. And the guy, you know, kind of goes, oh, well, come on. No. Listen, you're gonna give me your money. I apologize for stealing from you, but I have no money. So he did it in a different way than would be done in the United States. The majority of the time, they don't do that. So I guess we should feel fortunate. Here, Bangkok shooting at crowded Songkran event. Royal City Avenue, RCA. Left 4 people injured in the early morning hours of April 17th. Okay, here's another one. Woman in Pattaya allegedly shot dead by ex-boyfriend who later dies by suicide. Let me see this one. And I'm not trying to single out Pattaya. I just happen to be looking at a website that is geared mainly towards Pattaya. Okay, this woman was shot twice in the head by her ex-boyfriend. She passed away. The gunman later took his life to flee punishment. Any surprise there? That happens all over the world. That's just sad. It's sad we have to go there. RCA, I mean, you know, one of my kids could have been there because that's the kind of place that they go to. They're young, they want to go out, they want to have a good time, go out with their friends, they meet them out, oh, let's go out, you know. It's not about getting plastered or anything like that, but it's about hanging out and being social. 4 people, 3 men and 1 woman, were shot and injured with non-life-threatening injuries. They were quickly hospitalized at a nearby hospital. Police have yet to provide details about the gunman's motive or his identity, but the Thai media said the man engaged in a fight with another man prior to the shooting. And this is the thing too, you know, you get into a fight, especially if you start the fight, you get into a fight and you get your ass beat. Because you feel shamed, you go and get a gun and shoot someone. Now, I got news for you. I don't care how good of a fighter you are. You're human. Somebody is better than you. Somebody will beat you. I don't care if you're a UFC fighter. The right guy gets the jump on you, they will hurt you. They can hurt you without weapons. I remember that, you know, if you guys remember in the UFC, there was a guy who used to fight in the UFC, and I'm glad he stopped. Oh, here we go. Let me continue in a minute, but hopefully you and your family make it over there. Okay, it's crazy, and I believe every place has its bad stuff. Yes. I think Thailand is pretty safe as long as you're not being an ass to the people. Yeah, and you know, you need to know how to approach people, how to interact with the Thais that you're dealing with. Especially, listen, think about this. Not all, because some taxi drivers, some moto drivers are ex-fighters. I know a couple. I used to work with a guy, and he was driving a moto after he stopped working in boxing. And he had fought. Some of those guys, you know, if they feel slighted, they will fight you. They want to fight. They want to try to hurt you. They think you're not that. Some Thais have the mentality that foreigners are soft and they're not great fighters. But you know, let's face it. Muay Thai is one thing, UFC is another, and you don't see many Thais at all in the UFC, and there's a reason why. I'm not saying that Thais aren't good fighters. They are. They're incredible fighters. But on the street, I don't really know just how good they are, which is maybe why they tend to gang up on people. But for the most part, hey Rick, for the most part, Thailand is very, very safe. But you need to know, if you think a guy is overcharging you, like, you know, you're supposed to get charged 60 baht, and he goes, that's 200 baht. You go, oh. You don't get aggressive and say, hey, you know, you mother effer, you know, I can't believe I'm saying it that way. You know, you a-hole, you this, you that. You start saying things like that, you're asking for a physical confrontation. So you better be able to fight. Now, if you were to say, oh, my brother, oh, my friend, no, 200, oh, pang mat, oh, it's too expensive. Come on, you know. My wife, she tell me, I know already. The price 60 baht. And then maybe they go, no, not now. The price go up, 100 baht. Now, you really want to get into a scrap for 40 baht? I never did. I never wanted to scrap for 40 baht. Either I wanted to scrap out of principle, or I wanted to scrap for money. Show me the money. Not to give to charity. Not, oh, let's use gloves. You know, that kind of stuff. If you're going to use gloves, go into boxing. Get into the boxing ring. Become a boxer. Become a Muay Thai fighter. Become a MMA fighter. You want to fight. Don't expect someone to want to don the gloves. No, I just want to beat your ass with no gloves on. Knock your teeth down your throat. And, you know, that's the way it goes. But that, you know, I'm an old man. I don't want any of that. All I'm saying is that that's how people can think. People don't care. They're not like, okay, let's go settle this, like, you know, like gentlemen. Let's go put the gloves on. No. We'll do it right now. That's how people think. So if you approach a Thai the wrong way, you know, they're not thinking of the consequences. Which, honestly, I think of the consequences because I know what it's like to be in jail. I've been in jail for a weekend, long weekend, and it sucks. You don't want to be in jail. You definitely don't want to be in a prison because you got into a fight and that is assault, or you end up hurting somebody, or worse, they end up dying because they hit their head on the ground, and that kind of stuff happens. I've known a couple of people, they punched a guy, One guy punched a guy, hit his head on the corner of a table, boom, dead, you know. Yes, Patia is dangerous because of the radical Dara that have no patience and think they can act however they want. Well, yeah, I agree with that. And I agree that, you know, like that Finnish guy in Chayapun, okay, he probably deserved, you know, to be cuffed around the ears a little bit. However, legally speaking, that should not be allowed, and it is not allowed. It is overlooked and taken care of slowly in some cases. I've told the story about this guy from Denmark that I used to see around in the clubs, and this is, I don't even know how many years ago, but I was with my wife, and she was pissed at me because I'd seen this guy around. And he'd always been a troublemaker, and he was a drinker. He drank too much. He started trouble with me in Nana Plaza once. He started trouble with me in Nana Disco once. And then I was in Therme late at night, and I was probably tired and grouchy for whatever reason. I was hanging out with, you know, some people I knew, and they took off, and I was like, I don't feel like getting up. I don't want to go anywhere. Took a walk around, boom, I walk right into the guy, and the guy gets in my face again. He used to like do the whole like bump you kind of thing. And I was in a bad mood that night, and I thought, this guy is nothing. I'm gonna starch him. And he got in my face, and what really set me off is he was talking, and he spit in my face. He didn't purposely spit, but he lost control of his saliva, and it went in my face. And that was the last straw, and he got too close. And he ended up on the floor, right in front of the door of Therme, which I think is funny now. And I chipped his tooth, I busted up his eyes, he was messed up. And I tried to leave, and the guy who was security there, who was a cop, stopped me, he grabbed me, and he said, no, you can't go. I got taken to jail with this guy, and the guy was obnoxious. He was drunk and obnoxious. And even though I was polite, they said, we're sorry, we got to keep you in jail. My wife comes, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever. She comes. She's not happy. And when she saw the guy, all she said to me is, what did you do? What did you do? She was scared. She was scared that, I was going to go to jail for a long time because the guy was busted up. And then they asked me for, I think the cops asked for $200,000 or something like that. And I said, F you. Because I was pissed that I basically was defending myself and they didn't really care, and they were keeping me in there, and this guy was, he took off, he was gone, and that was the end of it. And so I had to go to court for a year, and I had to provide a bond. It was $30,000 bond, and every month I had to go to the court and sign the paper saying, you're still here in Thailand. As it turned out, the guy didn't even show up. And I got off scot-free. I mean, there was no problem. And actually, and I've said this before, I've talked about this before, the judge said, to the police, you should be ashamed that you brought this case to my court. I can't believe you actually brought this case to court. This is self-defense. You should have known that. You're trying to, and the guy knew what was up. I had a character witness with me, I mean, I had all kinds. I had my P's and Q's lined up. I wasn't really that worried, but it was irritating. Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that, but the BJ Penn story. So BJ Penn is out. I don't know if he goes out, to the clubs, but I'm going to say maybe he did. He was out one night, and some guy said something to him, and they started, there's a video of it somewhere. They exchanged some words or whatever, and I don't remember the specifics of how they were standing or anything like that, but the guy hit BJ Penn and knocked him out. Cold. He went down on his face. Well, if you know anything about Hawaiians, some of them are quite tough and they are fighters, man. They don't just give up. You know. And I don't know who the guy was who hit him, how big he was or anything like that. BJ Penn woke up, found the guy again, and then knocked him out. You know. So, if I've learned anything as I've gotten older, it doesn't matter. This little, like 50-year-old taxi driver, he's like a little 110-pound guy. And, you know, you think he's nothing, and you start mouthing off to him, and he gets pissed. Next thing you know, the guy's knocked you into another planet. Because maybe he used to be the champion of Rajdamnern Stadium or something like that. And that stuff happens. It's happened numerous times. And like I said, I know guys who drive motorbikes. I've met guys who used to fight. I've met plenty of guys who, I used to fight in my village. How come you didn't go to Lumpini? I wasn't good enough. Then you meet guys, I used to be this guy and that guy. And I go, do you know this guy? Because I met him and I trained with him and blah, blah, blah. So, it just pays to be smart. And I think the vast majority of foreigners, especially older guys, who don't drink too much, who don't have a problem with drinking, they don't have a problem with drugs, I think the vast majority of them never have a problem in Thailand. It's the guys who go out and get, I'll tell you something, I never was someone, oh, hey, Carlos. Carlos, I'll get back to you after the stream about it. I can't really read it right now, but I'll read everything and then write back. You know, the vast majority of people who don't go to tourist areas and don't open their mouth and don't get obnoxiously drunk don't have problems. If you're a drunk or you're a druggie and you're like stealing from people and something, well, then you're gonna have problems. If you're a drunk and you can't control yourselves and you can't control your mouth. Now, fortunately, when I drank, I never got nasty. I was not a nasty drunk, and I'm still, if I get drunk tonight, I'm not gonna be a nasty drunk. I'm just not. I don't want to fight because I know it impairs you. You may think you can fight when you're drunk, and maybe the occasional guy can, but most people can't. And there's always some guy out there who's carrying a gun, carrying a machete, carrying a knife, so just don't do it. Whether the statistics show one thing or another, one thing is clear. If you piss off the wrong Thai guy here and you're a foreigner, they will show no mercy. As nice as they can be equally vicious. And some of them are vicious just for the sake of being vicious. They don't care. They don't give a hoot. Anyway. All right, this is the debt collector guy. We showed that. We talked about that. So let's see. Crime in Pattaya. Actually, crime in Pattaya. Pattaya is the most dangerous place in Thailand. But it is still considered relatively safe. So what does that tell you? Even with people being murdered on the beach. Now, this is in Bangkok, the RCA shooting. Let me see what else I got here. Okay, on another subject, let me just transition into a couple other things. You remember the tourism fee, 300 baht fee? That was supposed to happen. I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was June 1st. It was supposed to be implemented, and people were supposed to have to pay this tourism fee. However, from June. It's been postponed from June until September, and it's facing criticism from Thai tourism operators regarding its clarity, and that's one of the reasons why They are not implementing it now. So you're not going to have to pay that 300 baht. And it's kind of funny because airlines cannot differentiate between foreign tourists, Thais, and expatriates. The delay has come because airlines have argued that regulations must be applied equally to all passengers, but the tourism ministry does not want the tourism fee to apply to certain types of expats and Thai nationals. Well, guess what? Then charge Thai people too. Make it 200 baht. Bumikit Ruk Tang Nam Ta Ngam, advisory chairman of the Phuket Tourist Association, insisted that the levy postponement should be applied to land and sea arrivals as well as for consistency. The tourism ministry should establish a new organization to specifically deal with the fee collection for all foreign arrivals, regardless of mode of transportation, instead of burdening airlines with the task. So what they may do, I don't know, maybe they'll do it to when you come in and you go through immigration, you're gonna have to pay them 300 baht. I don't know. But remember, there used to be a booth, which I see long lines with that. I see that just being more of a pain in the neck. I don't know what the answer is, and I'm not the answer man. I don't get paid the big money to answer these kind of questions. I get paid all these millions and millions of dollars because I look at these subjects and discuss them. Boom Kitty, however, expressed his support for the new fee, stating that it would contribute to the development of tourism destinations and communities in Thailand, as well as cover medical expenses for certain foreign tourists in public hospitals, which have amounted to over 10 million baht annually. Here's one idea: make it mandatory for all foreigners coming into the country. You can say all tourists and all expats, whatever. They've already done it with some visas. That it's mandatory that every tourist that comes in must show insurance of a certain level. And that way you know they're covered, or at least you have a better shot at getting all of them covered. Instead of saying, oh, well, you know, you can come into, and now you paid 300 baht, so you're going to be able to go in and use the public hospitals. He also pointed out that this fee might impact cross-border visitors such as Malaysian tourists in Songkhla province who frequently travel to Thailand every month for weekend breaks, or every week. The president of Thai Hotels Association said that the delay in implementing the fee would provide some relief for tourists amidst rising travel costs. And let me tell you something, travel costs are rising. I've seen this firsthand. They are rising, and these freaking airlines, man, that's all I'm gonna say. These freaking airlines, they got some balls on. This woman disagreed with some suggestions that hotels should assist in the fee collection because Thailand still has numerous unregistered hotels whose operators may not adhere to the same rules for their guests. Well, I understand that. Why would a hotel assist in fee collection? They need to do that right when you come in. Like there used to be the booth. Is there anybody out there? I can't see any more chat comments. And normally they come in, you know, they trickle in. I can't see anything. So I'm not sure what's going on. Especially with 36 people watching. It's interesting that I don't see that, so I don't know what's going on. Rick, I'm still here. Okay, good. We're still here. I'm just listening and having a coffee. Okay. Gennaro must have a date because this is the first time he has not been in the stream in quite some time. And he travels. Okay, I know sometimes he's traveling or he's busy. You know, he doesn't always come in. And then, what's his name? Dowlow. He's usually late. But you know what? Here's the thing. If I'm going to do it daily, and daily I mean Monday through Friday, maybe with a Wednesday off or something. If I'm going to do that, I expect things to be like this because not everybody wants to see my face every day, and not everybody wants to hear me every day. So I understand that. That's the way it works. Let me see something here. We got a customer here? Yes, we do. It's a dude. Is there a way to send you money via a credit card option? I think you can do it through the Buy Me a Coffee link down below. I think you can do it that way. If you have a U.S. card or U.S. address or something, maybe the Cash App. Not sure. I do have a what is it called? Oh yeah, maybe you can do it if you see the little dollar sign below the chat. Maybe you can do it if you're in the Philippines right now. I don't know if you can. Yeah, if you have a U.S. card, you should be able to do it just with the super chat thing. I don't know. I don't use PayPal anymore, unfortunately, because in Thailand it is a pain in the it's a royal pain in the ass for me to have my account. When I go back to the States, I may set up a U.S. account there, but I'm not going to set it up from here. But I also have Stripe, so you want, I can send you a link. You can just tell me what you want. And give me an email address, something if you want. We can do it after the stream, however you want it. But thank you, appreciate it. You know, there's several ways to do it. I wish there was a way where you can just go, I'm gonna hit a button on my phone and automatically anybody in the world can be transferred money. One button, not 50. Not the Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, this, that. There's so many now. Anyway, whatever. All right, so what was I talking about? Yeah, I'm describing crypto, except crypto has become a little bit of a pain in the ass as well. I wish more people, here's the thing, I wish more people sent donations through crypto or paid for things through crypto. I mean, I think I still have the crypto links. I don't know, maybe I don't, but down in the description. Do I? No, I don't have them still in there. In the older streams, in the older videos, I had the crypto links, and I still have crypto. But I mean, I used to get like 2 cryptos a month, and I was like, all right, whatever, you know, it's money. Maybe this crypto thing will take off. And it didn't really take off for me. So that's the thing. And you know, I come in here, I don't know of any way that I could use a QR code to scan with my crypto. I can't use a US account and use the QR code here in Thailand, so I always have to transfer money. I can't do it with Wise. They don't use your, I don't think you can do it that way, where you pay somebody with Wise at a business. So, you know, there's a lot of things have gotten better with transferring money and that sort of thing, but one thing that I notice is that with Wise, I don't know why, but it seems like now, it used to be the transfer times were like almost immediate, and sometimes they still are, but every once in a while I'll get a message and it'll say, your transfer is taking a little bit longer than usual. And it doesn't get to me until 3-4 days later. I never had that in the beginning. Which, whatever, you gotta account for that sometimes. You know, you just do that. But anyway, listen, let's get to the last subject, and this is the question of the day, which I think was brilliant. And I saw this, it is a Forbes breaking news. I'm gonna put the link in this chat. Okay, and the name of the video, I watched the whole thing, is Norman asked Takano if Mike Tyson identifies as a female, should he be allowed to box women? I think, how brilliant is that? Now, Mike Tyson is an older guy now. Let's say it was Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion of the world. If he just all of a sudden said, oh, you guys don't know, but I identify as a woman. I want to fight the women's, assuming there was a women's heavyweight champion that was in the weight category that he's in, you know, all things equal, aside from the fact they are biologically different, which will never change. Can he go over to women's sports and box the women? You know, go over to women's boxing and box the heavyweight champion that is women. I mean, if he identifies as a woman, the way that things are stated now, that seems to me like, well, hey, you're saying this, all things equal, he should be able to do so. And what this guy in the video says, I would say it's a good idea to watch this video because it just shows you how ludicrous everything has gotten. Because the guy said, the guy who's backing freedom for people who have gender identity issues, or whatever you want to call it. I don't always know how to talk about these things because I'm old school and I haven't been living in America, so I don't know the proper way, the proper terminology. But this guy is just mealy-mouthing, softballing everything, and he said, oh, well, you know, we have to look at the particular athlete and the particular sport. The bill we're trying to pass only is good for kids from kindergarten to 12th grade and for college students. So, you know, let's not get carried away. And the guy's like, no, but the thing is that if it's equal, it's equal. And there was an older woman in here who, like, just goes, hey, I'm sorry, but, you know, when a guy, if somebody is born with a penis and a woman is born with a JJ, that makes them biologically that particular sex, male, female. And so, my thing is that why would you let a male compete with women? But, oh, it's okay if the women want to compete with the men, okay. If they want to wrestle with the men, okay. In some states they can. I don't have a problem with it. They want to do it, let them do it. And see what happens. And the majority of the time they get their asses beat. I mean, look at even in tennis. I think John McEnroe got heat. He went on some show. He was talking about how Serena Williams, Venus Williams, who, you know, they were in the top, I don't know what they were. Maybe they were, one of them might have been number one. And he said that some college, I can't remember if that was it or not, but he was talking about how, like, some college student absolutely destroyed this tennis champion. Exactly. Now, I know that this stream is going to be demonetized because it's already demonetized. I don't know. I've requested a review. They may say okay, but, you know, talking about gender is a little taboo now. But let me just say something. I am a man, and you know why I'm a man? Not because I sometimes have thought with the little head instead of the big head, or, you know, I'm muscular and oh, I'm tough. No, it has nothing to do with that. Because I got a willy. I got a thing down yonder that females don't have. It always cracks me up to hear these people, oh, no, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, and I always say this, I'm Superman. I'm Cinderella. You're dreaming. Go be an actor. If you want to be Superman, go be an actor. Find a movie where you can play Superman. Go be on Broadway. You want to be Batman? Okay, find a movie. Find some theater that you can portray Batman. But it doesn't change your biological gender. You can argue all you want. You will not sway me from that. Well, what's so funny, back in the West, I usually sleep when you live stream. Hey, Chris, how you doing? No problem, man, thank you. I was wondering where you were. Certain people, they come in every now and then I just don't see them anymore. And they pop into my head and I go, I wonder what's happened. I wonder what's going on. There was a guy quite some time ago who, he used to message me every so often, and he used to donate to the channel. I forget what he was doing. There was no join button down below or anything like that at the time. And so, I forget how I don't even remember, maybe it was through PayPal at the time. But like, I didn't see the guy for a while. I'm like, oh shit, what happened? So I emailed him. Turned out he passed away. Man, I was so bummed because he was the nicest guy. And, he was generous and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, great, I appreciate that. But, I used to get his messages all the time. I gotta give a shout out to Bilal as well. So, haven't forgotten about you, Bilal. I watch you all the time. It's just I don't catch you live. Now, that brings something else up. As I said, I've decided to do the daily Mallon. If it was some like suit who titled that and put me on TV, okay, I'd be like, all right, whatever, call it whatever you want. But it was me, coupled with a couple other viewers, but I just figured it's simple, it's easy. Let's just call it the Daily Mallon. It's almost daily. It's not going to be on the weekends. And maybe I'll take a Wednesday off or one day off out of the week or something like that. I'll do the Joe Rogan thing. I'll just go kind of just do it when I feel like it, but pretty steadily. But the one question I had is, for some of you, I know it may be a problem to watch or listen or whatever, and maybe you watch or listen after the fact. But I'm wondering, maybe I should do like one time per week, I should do a night show. And that way I can do like a roundup of the week and stream, and people from other parts of the world might be able to take part in the chat. I'm a little surprised. Hello. Hello to all. I'm a little surprised both of my moderators are not here today. What gives? I thought at least one would be here. I'm telling you, Gennaro must have a date. And 2Q Asia. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know, maybe he's busy. He's got things to do. And he is coming over here to Bangkok in by then, I don't know. Or I'll have a little place down by the beach. What is it? A van down by the river. I'll have a shack down by the beach. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And this is another thing. I put up one or two videos. I try to put up one or two videos per week. And the number of subscribers has been growing, so thank you. Appreciate that. That means a lot to me, actually, because I was like wondering, am I ever going to hit 15,000? And I think where's that little card at? Did I do it on this card? Yeah. I've gained 770 subscribers this year, which for me is pretty damn good. So, thank you. Let me see here. Let me finish up with this. I just thought that the way, you gotta watch that video. If you want to see something, I found it rather humorous. Because the guy's like, let's talk about Mike Tyson. Or something. You know who he is? The guy's like, oh yeah. Now they did say, oh, the UFC has gotten more proactive with women, and women have got into it after Dana White said, women will never fight in the UFC and everything like that. Well, when it makes financial sense, they'll be fighting in the UFC. I guarantee you there are women out there that will beat your ass because it's about skill. When you have somebody who's totally unskilled and they're male and they're fighting against a woman who is strong and who is an elite athlete and who is technically skilled, depending on the size difference, generally the woman would win. But if you have a skilled woman against a skilled man, and if she decides, I want to be a man, my name's Joe now, and not Josephine or whatever, but Joseph. She goes over and fights, I don't know, Francis Ngannou, Stipe Miocic. She goes over and fights him. I'm sorry, she's getting trounced. She won't last a minute. The first time she gets hit, that's it, it's over. These are my thoughts. You know some of my inner thoughts. There's something else to consider. Ever since the pandemic ended, more people need taxis, grab taxis, and motorbikes. Now, I don't want to take motorbikes all the time, but like on a short jaunt, the difference in price is like, it might be 40 baht for me to take, like it was 38 baht. Getting on the subject of tipping again. It was 38 baht to come here. Now with Bolt, you cannot pay with a credit card if you're a foreigner. I don't think anybody can, but I don't know. I thought, okay. I put 45 baht in my pocket in change. When we got here, I gave the guy 45 baht. That's a 7 baht tip. That's almost 20%. However, there were only 2 guys in my neighborhood on motorbikes. Your weightless journey has been very cool to follow. You look great, and it has inspired me to work on my health also. Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And I am not there yet, believe me. I was thinking that what I need to do, I have certain goals. Now, my weight has not continued to drop. I'm still right around 95 kilos. I want to get to around 84. I don't know how much lower than that I can get into, and I may need to really get more strict with my diet, which I don't know how much more strict I can get, and I may need to do some harder training. I want to still be the guy who's 70 or 80 years old who is exercising. And when I say exercising, I mean strenuous exercise. I am going to do a video on the gym that I've been going to. It's just a fitness center. But if you go on Instagram right now, and you're on Instagram, and you go to Instagram stories, you'll see I'm kicking one of the bags. I don't kick with my right leg right now because of my hip, but I do kick with my left leg. And that's something else. I kick with my left leg. I hit the pads every once in a while. And I do this, I've been talking about it, the TRX thing. So I may start adding more fitness stuff in the more fit I get, because right now I don't consider myself all that fit, although for somebody my age, maybe I am. One other thing I want to do is, I think I was 50, or I happen to be older than that. I was just trying to do 50 50 push-ups, and I did the 50 push-ups straight. Now I want to do 60 because I want to do as many push-ups as my age. And so these kind of things, I do see that they inspire people, and that somewhat, and that people like to see it. And something else is that, I'm always inspired by certain people. Now there is one guy that I like, and I forget what is his name, Swole something, Swole Enormous. I just like him because he's funny. Now I don't really know how fit he is. He looks pretty fit, but that can be deceiving. My blood pressure is normal now. I need to go in and get a big check. And actually, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me undo this. I'm at that point where the battery's going dead again. Battery's going dead on my phone, which happens. I need to get the battery fixed on this, and also on my Mac. So that's about $150, which I want to use. I'm going to use every spare bit of cash I can to travel on this journey that we're going on. What was I saying? On the way over here, I thought to myself, I really need to go and get a very extensive checkup, which is pricey, and my insurance doesn't cover it. Although we've been talking about this other insurance, my wife and I, for me and Nicholas. Alex is already on it, and hopefully when I come back from the trip, we'll have the insurance. And they do a checkup, but you're allowed to do a checkup once a year. I think that's important. But it's kind of like, would you have a car? You want to have a Ferrari, but not have enough money to have it maintained. You'll just throw in some crappy oil, and you'll put some crappy tires on it. I know this is probably not possible with Ferrari, but you want to use the really low-grade stuff, or just not do anything. You just want to not put oil in it. You want to not get it checked up once in a while. Get it serviced. Well, that's kind of like your body. And, I never reached a level of a professional athlete to where I was elite. I haven't made very much money when I was young. I didn't make much money, and I thought, I'm going to get my ass kicked. For $50, it's not worth it. But I have, since I was young, I've always wanted to exercise to keep myself fairly fit. And even before losing the weight, I had a gut, but I was still strong and had some more endurance than you would think. But I think it's important that you need to be moving and doing something every single day. I think that's important, because once you stop and you just go, I'm just going to lay here and eat the bonbons, I'm going to have some cake, I'm going to watch TV, you've given up. And you can't do that. But I like this guy, I think he's called Swole Enormous. Swole Enormous. And what he says, and I'm going to use the F word, be forewarned. If you're, timid and you don't like to hear that word, go to the fucking gym, go to the fucking gym, go to the fucking gym. That's what he says. And I love it. How come you're looking at your phone? You need to be sleeping. Get to sleep. Get your rest. These are the kind of things he says. And I got friends that are they're still involved in Muay Thai. I got a guy who's got a son who used to fight in Glory. I know all kinds of Muay Thai fighters. I know people who lift and all that kind of stuff. And I think to myself, the problem with me is not that I don't exercise, or that I don't like it. The problem is the mental discipline. And that's what I told my wife. I said, if you are mentally disciplined, when you are, yeah, it's pretty funny, man. He's pretty funny guy. You know, he'll say something. He'll go, "Oh, you don't feel like working out today? When? When? Oh, you don't feel like working? You don't want to work out? I don't care. Get to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym." And something that, you know, if you've ever read the book, Fuck Your Feelings, your feelings about going to the gym don't matter. Your feelings about eating properly don't matter. They don't matter. How you feel doesn't matter. Now, I'm not talking about if you've been competing and you've been busting your ass for months. That doesn't necessarily mean, I don't mean you can't take a couple of days off or a week off and, you know, just go jog on the beach. Then you get back to training. I don't mean that. But what I mean is, if you, like I told my wife, hey, if you get off of work at 6 o'clock and you're tired, go to the fucking gym. Be disciplined. Be mentally disciplined. Because if you're not, then you're just gonna go, oh, well, you know. I mean, like right now, my wrist hurt. My wrist hurts from lifting. My wrist hurt from that TRX, which I want to show you guys the TRX. Now, I may not look great doing it. I did shoulders yesterday, where you go like this with the TRX, and then you put your arm. I put my arms out where you're holding yourself, and I did a bunch of other exercises yesterday. I can't stress how good that thing is, and it's about $230. If you have a good wall, you can put a bar on and attach it. If you have a door, there's a door attachment, you can use it. I think it's probably, if you just want to work out at home, I think it's one of the best things you can do for your muscularity. But, you know, it takes a lot of strength. And so it isn't easy. And, you know, I get there and I go, oh, man, I'm sore. Oh, I don't feel good. Doesn't matter, you know. And I tell you something, I was thinking to myself yesterday, you know, they have a rowing machine. And I love rowing machines. I love them because you're bringing your knees into your chest when you're rowing on these machines. I also love them because they tell you your statistics. They tell you how far you've traveled and in what time and that kind of thing. So yesterday, I'm thinking to myself, being tired doesn't matter. You keep going. Don't stop. Now, I'm only doing it right now for 6 minutes, but I'm doing it at about 80 to 90% of the speed that I can do it at. You know, full speed. I'm doing it very, very fast. And so originally I did 1,000 meters. That's it, just a sprint. And then I thought, let me add 200 meters. So yesterday I'm thinking to myself, hey, I got a good time today. Maybe I can beat my record. Hey, I gotta try. So I started getting tired, man. And I'm thinking to myself, if somebody told me they would hand me $10 million and it would change my life forever, would I push myself, or would I just go, I'm tired, I gotta slow down? I thought, I'm just gonna, all right, Andy, take it easy, man. Have a good day. And I thought, you know what? You're only gonna be tired for a few minutes. So you can choose to bitch out and be tired and just go, oh, I'm just gonna go, I'm not gonna break my record. Or you can choose to say, I'm gonna go for it and I'm gonna be tired. Which one do you want? You gotta choose for yourself. So I chose go for it. You know, I broke my record. So that makes me very happy. Those kind of things make me happy. And sometimes you need to watch people that motivate you, and I do. And you know, like I said, I don't usually watch much YouTube. I certainly don't watch much YouTube when it comes to Thailand, unless there's some extraordinary reason for watching it. But I do watch people about training and about their mental approach towards things, because I think that's extremely important. And assuming everything on my insides, inside me is okay, meaning my heart, my cholesterol level, my colon, my organs, and all that kind of stuff, assuming those are healthy, then why can't you fix your body, the outside, the shell, your muscles, your bones, your tendons? You can. And so something clicked in me a few months ago. And again, I got to thank Carnivore Chronicles, because he kind of implemented it in my brain. And you know, I haven't been perfect by any means. I've given in a couple of times. And now I start to think, you don't give in very often. Why do you have to give in at all? Why do you have to do that? And he did tell me, when you start training, you're going to start wanting to eat more. You're going to need more food. And it's true. The more that I train, especially lift, the more that I feel, you know, and I don't want to be some guy who's, you know, like this. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be some bodybuilder who's like walking like this. I'm already big enough, you know, for my size. So, anyway, didn't mean to go off on a tangent about that, but I think it's important to remember to be balanced about things, and that your fitness is extremely important. Because I'll tell you one thing that I always feel like shit about. I went into the Muay Thai gym once in Russia, and I was training guys a little bit, and I wasn't really out of shape, but I wasn't in great shape because I was lazy. I wasn't disciplined. I wasn't lazy, I was undisciplined. I'd work out sometimes, I wouldn't work out sometimes. I'd work out sometimes, I wouldn't work out sometimes. Now I work out all the time. Okay, Michael, take it easy. Have a good one. And there were guys in there with our group that were training. And I thought, I don't want to train because I'm not going to be very good. And you know, I don't like thinking when I was young I was fit. Now that I'm older, I'm not fit and I can't do this anymore. No, the answer is to get more healthy, or just to do it and do it as best as you can, and then just keep going. And so I just trained a guy that day, which was good. It's exercise, but I don't know what my point is. I guess just go to the gym, go to the gym, go to the effing gym. Because I think it does change the person that you are. Even if you're not good looking, if you're in good shape, there are going to be chicks who go, oh, he's kind of cute. There's some chick who ain't very smart. She'll think you're a cute guy. That's what happened with me. You know, I don't think I'm a great looking guy. What is it that Carnivore Chronicles thing that you like? Well, Carnivore Chronicles is the username of the guy. That's why he's Carnivore Chronicles. He lost, I think, 150 pounds. And I went to Pattaya and hung out with him and a couple other guys, including Jono. And we just chatted about what's necessary. And the thing is, I thought, okay, I'll try it for like a week. I started eating meat and only certain vegetables. I cut the carbs out. I stopped anything with sugar. You know, you look at a protein drink in 7-Eleven, and some of them have like 10, 20 grams of sugar in it. You look at Gatorade, normal Gatorade, regular Gatorade, tons of sugar in it. You don't need all that sugar. So I did it, and then I thought, okay, this is good. I don't feel hungry, and I'm only eating once a day. I have one of those bulletproof coffees in the morning. Sometimes I have a protein drink in the morning. But the protein drink, I got protein. It's got 0 sugar in it, 0 grams of sugar. The carbs are low. I don't put fruit in it. Nothing like that. And so anyway, he, he's very knowledgeable. He's a good dude. I'm not just kissing up to him, but he is a good dude. He's the guy who actually gave my kid a guitar, an electric guitar. And that alone, he'll always be in good standing with me, because that gave Alex, he had a what do you call it, acoustic guitar. But that gave him kind of a way of life, something to be passionate about. Even if he never plays, live in front of a group of people, a large group of people or anything, it doesn't matter. It's like playing tennis. You're probably not going to be playing at Wimbledon. Some guys might, but most guys will never play at Wimbledon. Most guys will never get in the boxing ring and they'll never, fight in front of a group of people or an audience. They'll never do it. It's not going to happen. Most people will never do that. But it gave him a way of life. And the same thing what my mother said to me about tennis, which now I really appreciate it. At the time I didn't, because I wanted to be, when I was 15, 16 years old, I wanted to be this great tennis player. And then some guy came in, he was like 6'2". I was like 5'5" at the time, which is what I am now, 5'5", 5'6". And he was like 6'2", and he was good. And he trounced me. He beat me like 6-0, 6-0. I barely won a point from the guy. And it was at that point I went, I'm not as good as I think. The chance might be kind of difficult. It might be difficult for me to ever become a champion tennis player. So, it doesn't matter who it is. I think if you just, I try to simplify things. And I think if you remember to eat wholesome food, and I don't mean, I'm looking at a croissant. I love croissants with butter, warmed up. Oh, they're so good. I'm looking at these cakes. Oh, they're good. I haven't had a cake in a long time. Even for my wife's birthday, no cake. Even for Alex's birthday coming up, we're not going to have cake. Now, Alex might have some cake. I don't know, but I'm not going to. He might just have a cupcake. So I think, and what was funny is I went to the UK once and trained with this guy. I basically stayed with him. Me and my friend, we stayed with him. I met the guy, and then we, became friends over time. And I was surprised, because I'm like, oh, you don't, it's okay to have like a little piece of chocolate? And I thought, oh, you can't do that. No, it's okay, man. You're training hard. You can do it. Just, keep it in perspective, Like, you don't need to have a pint of Haagen-Dazs. But if you want a scoop of Haagen-Dazs once in a great while, there's nothing wrong with it, Anyway, I don't know what the hell I'm going on about, but, I'm looking at all this stuff here, and I'm like, I look at the little foo-foo drinks. Yeah, some of them taste great. You have yourself a Frappuccino at Starbucks, you have a Frappuccino somewhere else. At Cafe Amazon, they have the strawberry cheesecake Frappuccino. So, as they say here, very, very good. It's so tasty. But it's all sugar. That's why it's so good. Anyway, so answering the question, has Thailand become more dangerous than in the past? No, it hasn't. But sure in hell seems like it. I only eat one time a day. And actually, I've kind of expanded it a little bit. I have my bulletproof coffee, which bulletproof coffee, look it up if you don't know what it is, but it's basically just some butter, which I think it comes from Ethiopia, this butter coffee. And you put some MCT oil, which is like a really refined coconut oil. You put that in, and I put some raw cacao, because it doesn't have any calories, and it gives you a little chocolatey flavor to the coffee. and you can taste and then you whip it up with a immersion blender. Like I had one this morning. And then the idea is just to tide you over until the meal. And then the meal, it can be a big meal. Now, sometimes what I'll do, like, oh, okay, good. Yesterday, there's a place in the mall, and there's also, it's also in Happy Land, because I haven't been going to the mall much other than the grocery. They're closing in 10 days. It's called Normal. It's like a little steakhouse, right? A little steak place, but it's not really a full-on steak place. It's like, you know, you're not getting the greatest meat, but it's okay. So I know they have good burgers there. So I was so hungry, and I just thought, you know what? I don't feel like cooking. I want to train. So I had a double cheeseburger, took the bread off. There was no bread. Double bacon cheeseburger. I had that. They have a salad. I had the salad, no sauce, nothing like that. Just lettuce and some tomatoes. Then I went home. I went home a half hour later. It took me a half hour to cook some food up. Cooked a couple pieces of sausage up. A little piece of meat. Ate that. Boom, that's it. No more. That's my meal. And then today, I figured out the meat that I was talking about yesterday. It was an Angus beef medallion. That's what it's called, the Angus. That's what it says on the package, Angus beef. 2 medallions, 335 baht, which is, you know, it's $5 for a little medallion like this, but it is very tasty. And then I got what else do I have? I have, what's it called? Not a pork chop. It's called a pork loin, I think. A nice little medium-sized piece of pork. I got some really nice sausages. I got some bacon. I got kimchi, which I love now. Salad. And then sometimes I got this little waffle maker, but it's a waffle maker for eggs. It was cheap. It was really cheap. It's like $5, this thing. You plug it in, it goes on. When the light goes off, you beat up a couple of eggs, throw some cheese in there, you put it on the waffle maker. It's a non-stick surface. I cook up 3 eggs, pull them off, boom. And then sometimes I'll have a can or 2 of tuna fish mixed with mayonnaise. No sugar in the mayonnaise. You gotta make sure that there's no sugar in the mayonnaise. I'll mix that up and I'll just eat the bowl. I'll just eat the bowl of tuna. Eat that with like some chicken and some bacon and a salad. Great, you know. Seems to be working. My blood pressure has gone down. I don't know about my cholesterol. I haven't had that checked. I need to have that checked pretty soon. So I will, but all in good times. I can only do so many things in one day. You know, I do a stream. Now it's 11:20. I go back over in my neck of the woods. I got a couple things to do, a couple errands to run, some groceries to get to, pay a bill that I can't pay online. And then by that time, I'm like, time to work out. Go work out, done working out, time to eat. Done eating, you know. And then it's like, what do I want to do now? So it's a full day. You're welcome, no problem at all. I'm glad you're motivated, stick with it. Go to the fucking gym, go to the fucking gym, go to the fucking gym. I love that. But I also love the fact that you can't think about how you feel. I'm not talking about if you totally ripped your arm out of your socket, you gotta go and do shoulder presses, you know, but if you're like, oh, I'm so tired today, I don't wanna go, then don't go. And then don't ever see any gains, you know, that's how it works. And I remember this now because there was a time when I would never, ever dare miss a workout. And it's gotten easier as I've gotten older because, oh, well, this hurts, and oh, you know. Well, that's good to know. Let me tell you something. I'm surprised. Alex is surprised. Alex told me once, he goes, I just want to see you do it. You talk about doing it, but you haven't done it. It's been a long time since you've done it. Which you would think that motivated me, but it didn't. And now, even though my weight is not different, I mean, you can see in my arms, but like my legs, my calves especially, my calves are big. I try to work everything. I try to do core exercises and try to, I don't have any formal training. I'm not, fitness certified or any of that kind of stuff. But I have been around the block for a long time, and I've been training off and on for a long time, and sometimes for long stretches. But I've definitely, today I was looking at myself and I go, man, I can see the rips in the top of my chest. When you go like this, you can see, and I'm like, shit. Or my tricep, it's a little bit hard to see, but I can see it in the house, and I go, oh, this is starting to, holy shit, I never saw that muscle before. And that in itself is motivating for me because it means I'm making progress. And once you start to see a little bit of progress, whether it's just dieting or exercising or both, once you start to see that little bit of progress, it ought to motivate you to continue. And I felt really good because I sent a video of me kicking the bag, or this contraption, to one of the fighters that I used to work with. And he's now a trainer at Sanchai's gym. And he saw me kicking, and he said, Scott, he sent me a voice message in English, because he speaks a little bit of English now. He didn't speak any English before, but now he speaks a little English because he's been working with foreigners and stuff like that. And he said, Scott, you strong, you very strong, very good, strong. And I was like, all right, So little things like that, to me, they motivate me, So anyway, like I said, I don't think Thailand has become more dangerous, but I do think that if you're going to come here, you better have an idea. Do your research. That's another one. Do your research, do your fucking research. Prepare. What is the 7 P's? Proper preparation prevents piss poor planning. I think that's important. Then you come here and oh, I shouldn't be putting my feet up. I've seen it many times. I shouldn't be putting my feet up on the top of a chair and with the bottom of my feet aiming at some Thai. They might be very nice about it and go, please put your feet down. Or they might be difficult about it because they're like, hey, this is my country, why are you doing that? So, anyway, it's time to go. Things to do, places to go, people to see, and all that good stuff. Again, we're at the Belo de Cafe, Ramkapang 107. And not I have to go, I will go. That's what you say. You got to change that mindset. I think that helps. Change the mindset. Well, I should go and lift some weight. No, not I should. I'm going to lift weights today. I think that's how you have to change your mind. Not that I do it all the time. Sometimes I really have to push myself, but sometimes I go, this fucking sucks, There's times I wake up in the morning and my wife's like, you want to go to the gym now? And I'm like, I'm whining. Oh, shit, my hands hurt, my feet, my leg hurt. Okay, let's go. I just put the clothes on. Once you get the clothes on, you're like, I might as well fucking go. I got my clothes on. Let's go. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Last stream of the week. What's today? Thursday? I gotta come up with a subject. If you got an idea for a stream, leave it in the comments or in the chat or whatever before I finally sign off. But I am at the, I don't take salt tablets, but I don't worry about my salt intake because I don't add salt ever to my food. I add some pepper, but not salt, because some of the food is salty. Bacon's salty, sausage can be salty, you know. So I think I get enough. And then what I do sometimes, though, so maybe I am having some salt, is they have some stuff, it's called Anita. It's not like Royal D or D Champ, it's the electrolyte mix. And this stuff, I think it has 2 grams of sugar. They generally have sugar in them, and it has some sodium in it. So I guess I am adding some salt. It's not a tablet though. But anyway, if you got a comment about, you know, a particular topic, leave it in the comments or in this chat before I sign off, and I'll take it into consideration. And I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe it's Starbucks, maybe down by Nana. I don't know. Not sure. But we'll come up with something. Thank you for joining me. And click that thumbs up, subscribe, check the description, do your thing. Have a good one. And just do it. Brilliant slogan. I'm wearing a Nike shirt. I shouldn't be wearing this. And there's a reason why. We're not going to talk about that today, but if you know anything about Nike, you know, I think they are rather woke, which I don't particularly like. So, anyway, I got to get out of here. If you ever have an affiliate link for travel health insurance, I'll go through your link. Okay, thank you. I do have one, actually. It's been a while since I used it, but yeah, I have one. So, sure, I need to be doing that too. And I used to have the hotels as well. But anyway, thank you. That is all. I shall see you all later. Choke D, Leo Jerk, and I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. And see you later.